Welcome to the presentation for the class of 2019. This is an overview of the Laramie High School course registration process. This slide is an overview of the minimum graduation requirements for the class of 2019. As we go through the presentation, I'll go into each core area in more depth, but just as an overview, we require 25 credits in 8 semesters of attendance, grades 9 through 12. For reference, as I go through this presentation, I'll be referring to this course registration card. Now, it was passed out during our informational night, but sometimes they wander away. So if you do need an additional copy, please contact your current school. They do have copies available. For English, as current ninth graders, you took either English 9, English 9 Honors, or the Language Lab 9. Those credits do count towards high school graduation. Now, as incoming 10th graders, you have a few different options. Now, the first would just be the English 10 with the American Lit. Now, some people go, I don't really like writing as well, but my reading is really strong, so maybe you want to do English 10 with Advanced American Lit. They're each one semester courses. For those that want an even more in-depth challenge, we offer an Advanced American Studies course. Now, this course is a 2-block or 2-period course, and it embeds the English 10 and American Lit requirement along with U.S. history, or what we call Modern American Studies. And again, it's 2 blocks for 2 credits, and it is an advanced course. In order to register for that course, we are asking that students complete an essay and pass that in with their registration, or pass that along to their current English teacher. And that would be the person to talk to about that essay and about the rubric that's involved. Now, some of you maybe struggled a little bit in English, maybe need a little bit extra support, and we do offer that as well. So if during first semester you didn't quite get the grade you needed to, you didn't pass the class, your teacher might say, I think you could really benefit from the Intro to High School English, and then second semester, take Sophomore English. Now, these classes are placed so that way they really help students in the area of English. Intro to High School English is a 2-block, 1-credit class first semester. Sophomore English is offered second semester, and it is a 2-block, 1-credit class which takes English 10 and American Lit and places them together. As you continue on through high school, next year, as 11th graders, you're going to take another credit of English, and we recommend you get the literature and the technical writing electives taken care of as 11th graders. And then that way, when you're in 12th grade, you're open to taking electives. All of our classes, after you get past the English 10 American Lit requirement, are electives, so there are choices, and I would recommend that you check out the curriculum guide to look at all the different offerings our English department has. As incoming sophomores, you'll be taking at least a credit of science. Now, for most of you, you took either geology or biology as freshmen. Now, if you look at your current registration card, you're going to see that geology has been renamed to earth science. So if you already have taken geology by the time you get to us, do not register for earth science. They're the same credit. You are going to want to go ahead and take biology in that situation. Now, based upon what math level you're at and what your science goals are, you may look at the chemistry 1 or the physics 1 courses. And again, check out the curriculum guide because there are prerequisites for those classes. For math, this is an overview of the math courses that we offer. I would highly suggest again that you take a look at the curriculum guide and talk to your current math teacher. They've been working with you for at least a semester now, and they know you and your skills best, and they can recommend the next course for you. However, it is a pretty linear path, and in the curriculum guide, there's a great flow chart to help you take a look at the options available, and then the options as you continue in math throughout your time at Laramie High School. For social studies, we require 3 credits or 3 years. Now, many of you are probably completing your first year of social studies as freshmen. We also require U.S. history, and some of you will be taking care of that requirement maybe through Advanced American Studies next year. And for those of you who went, oh, I don't know if I want to do that Advanced American Studies course, then as juniors, you'll be taking Modern American Studies 1 and 2. And before everyone graduates, you need one additional credit of social studies, and that can be an elective credit. Maybe you're interested in psychology, maybe you're a world history kind of buff. There are different options available for you. And again, I would refer to the curriculum guide or to your registration cards to take a look at those options. Physical education and health. Now, most of you are coming in and you'll have completed off one semester of health and one semester of PE. Usually they're calling it PE 9 at your school. So you already have one credit taken care of and you need one additional credit before you graduate from high school. Now, in the past, we offered a course called Sophmore PE, and all incoming sophomores took Sophmore PE. The PE department is now making some changes in their course offerings. So you're not going to see sophomore PE on that card anymore. Instead, you're going to see a class called team sport and another class called individual or dual sport. And students need to take one semester of each before they graduate from high school. Now remember, we're not calling this sophomore PE because it's not just a requirement during your sophomore year. Let's say you're looking at all the wonderful courses you want to take for next year, and you can only get one semester of PE in. That's fine. Then maybe you pick up the other semester during your junior year. You just need to make sure you're completing the credit requirements by the time you graduate from high school. If you look at your registration card, under required courses, you are going to see physical education listed, and that is just serving as a reminder that a lot of times sophomores are taking their PE requirement so that way they can complete it out and then look at other options available to them as they complete out their junior and senior years. You can also take a look under the personal development area on your registration card and see some of the other PE courses that are offered. In addition to the core classes, we have some great electives in the areas of career vocational, family career sciences, lots of different electives out there. And I highly encourage you to take a look at not only the options available for you as incoming sophomores, but the options available for you as you continue on in your junior and senior years. One of the things I like to do is take a look at all the courses you want to take by the time you graduate from high school and kind of plan backwards. So that way you're getting everything in by the time you graduate from Laramie High School. And there are no surprises later as you approach your senior year and go, oh no, I really wanted to take Auto 3. But maybe you can't because you don't have the prerequisites. So careful planning and looking at all the electives can get you set up so that way you can complete the coursework you really want to complete by the time you graduate from high school. And again, there are some great electives out there, and I highly encourage you to go ahead and open up the curriculum guide and see what we have to offer. And as a huge reminder, the requirements I've gone over so far are the minimum graduation requirements. For those of you who have been thinking about the Hathaway Merit-Based Scholarship, or maybe you're thinking about participating in collegiate athletics, you may have different requirements that you need to do in addition to these minimum graduation requirements. In the state of Wyoming, Hathaway is one of the biggest things we keep hearing about from grade K all the way up until post-graduation. And so for your reference, you can go to the WDE website and learn more specific information about the Hathaway Scholarship. Now again, it is a merit-based scholarship, and they're looking at three areas: your GPA, your ACT or SAT score, and the success curriculum or the classes that you take in high school. So again, another way to think about the Hathaway Success Curriculum would be the courses to take for college readiness. Now, Hathaway does prescribe these courses. So students do need to take 4 credits of English, and in the area of math, algebra, geometry, algebra 2, and 1 additional year of math, 3 credits of social studies, 3 years of a lab science plus 1 additional year of science. And then, well, this is the spot where it gets a little bit tricky, a little bit more complicated to go over. So there is a world language requirement, and depending upon how you place your classes together and which tier of the Hathaway Scholarship you're going for, it's the World Language Vocational Fine Arts requirement. So I'm going to go into a little bit more detail on that during the next couple slides. So there is a world language component for the top 2 tiers of Hathaway, and the top 2 tiers are the honors and the performance scholarship levels. So all students working towards those top tiers need to complete 2 years of a language plus one of the following options. So after you complete your 2 years of a language, you can go on and complete 2 additional years of the same language, or you can complete 2 years of a different language, or 2 years of vocational coursework, or 2 years of fine arts coursework. Now, this is really, really tricky, I know, and a lot of you start to have questions going, well, wait, I took, and some of those questions that do start off with, I would really encourage you to ask those questions so we can take specific looks at the coursework you've already started and to see how that would progress along for you. But you do need to have 2 years of the world language. For the opportunity and the provisional opportunity, the requirements are slightly different. Students can take either 2 years of a sequence language, or 2 credits of fine arts, or 2 credits of vocational career. So again, as you think about those requirements for graduation, the requirements for Hathaway, ask questions, talk to people. But we're going to go ahead and move forward and think about course registration for the 2016-17 school year, which is a pretty exciting time because we're going to be in our new location on Boulder Drive. Now, I've been referring to all of the classes we have at LHS, and in order to find what those classes are, you'll need to go to the LHS website, look for the ribbon called Counseling. Pull-down menu will bring you to the 2016-2017 curriculum guide, and you can download a PDF of that version. It's a really good opportunity to take a look at the classes we have, start thinking about not only next year, but your next 3 years after that at Laramie High School. And it's also nice because you can use the Find feature in order to just look up a specific class that you may have questions for. Another very important component to point out at this point, for students who are on an IEP or receiving special education services, you really need to work closely with your current IEP team, and then that team works in conjunction with our team. And we have Nancy Lockwood, our case manager, and Laura Nicewinder, our team leader in special education. And they're going to work together in order to transition from one school to the next and really take a look at the individual needs of that student and come up with the coursework that's going to best support your student or you at the high school. And so their contact information is available here, but again, your current teachers of record or IEP team, those are really, really good resources for you to still continue using because we all work as a team together to transition students from one building to the next. So again, this is a copy of the course registration card. If for some reason you have misplaced yours or if you need another copy, there are copies available at your current school. On your registration card, you're going to want to go ahead and print your last name and your first name and make sure it's nice and legible so we don't confuse you with somebody else. We don't want to mix up your courses. And on the very bottom, there's a spot for parent signature. It's very important you work together as a team in order to pick your courses. So chat with your teachers, chat with your parents, but we have a spot for parent signature right on the bottom. Required courses are listed on the top, and then the electives are on the bottom half. As you pick your courses, be mindful of the number of credits each course is worth. When you're done, all of your courses should add up to 7 credits. You will also want to pay attention to prerequisites. So for example, you cannot sign up for Algebra 2 unless you have completed geometry. Prerequisites are available in the curriculum guide. In addition to prerequisites, you might see a little star or some additional requirements, such as auditions, and be careful of those as well. Our music department will be traveling to each of the schools in order to audition students. If you are interested in signing up for Advanced American Studies, which is again the double block with English and Social Studies together for 2 credits and 2 periods each semester, you will need to write an essay. The rubric and the essay prompt are available through your current English teacher. You're going to want to take that essay and attach it to your registration card and turn that in. For registration, there are a couple ways to make a master schedule. One, schools can go ahead and they choose the number of sections to offer for each course, and then students fit into those sections. We do ours a little bit differently at Laramie High School. So what we're doing right now is called course requests. We are looking at all the classes that all of our students want to have in their schedule, and then based upon all those requests, we'll create the number of sections needed for each class. So if there are 100 people who sign up for an art class, we will do our best to create a master schedule to meet the needs of all of those students. Now this does take a little bit of time, and that's why we're having you fill out these registration materials now so we can create that schedule, and then we're going to create the master schedule and look at any conflicts that might be in the day and have those taken care of before we start school in August. Another way that we're going to go about doing this is to take your registration card and have students then go online and fill out their requests online. It's just a really nice way to take a look at prerequisites and to enter things on their own to really get a full handle of how this registration process is working so we can try to make this a seamless transition for students. We will be going to your school, whether it's the junior high, Snowy Range, or lab school, and we will walk through the online course registration process with your students. Now, this is an example of a sample screen from last year. Students will log into PowerSchool, pull up their account, and they're going to be able to go to the school registration screen. This is an example of a junior screen from last year. Now you're going to see the bold English literature on the left-hand side, and those left-hand columns in bold are going to be matching students' registration cards. On the right-hand side, there's a little pencil icon. Students will go ahead and click on that pencil icon. So once you click on the pencil, it's going to open up another subscreen. Now this is an example of a science subscreen, and I wanted to show you this because it has a spot in here to show you what the prerequisites start to look like. And this we found is helpful because it's just another check or another layer of accountability to make sure we're getting students in the right class. So if you look on the top, Biology 2. In order to enroll in Biology 2, students must complete Bio 1, Chemistry 1, and have teacher approval. So you're going to look and you're going to see a recommended by Kimberly Dale. I went ahead and I pre-approved that course for that student. That's the teacher signature. Teacher signatures can be done electronically by teachers or by counselors, or they can be done on the back of your registration card. If you have it signed on the back of that card, when we're working with you, we'll go in and we'll override prerequisites so you can register for a course. Now, if you look a little further down the screen, you're going to see AP Chemistry does not have a check mark or a little box to make a check mark. That's because this student has not met the prerequisites for it. And there's a big arrow saying prerequisites have not been met. So this student would not be able to enroll in AP Chemistry at this time. Now again, the previous screens were the online course registration. I know it's going to look a little confusing at this point, but we will be there to walk your students through that process. And then as we continue to move forward though, the best thing you can do right now is take your registration card and start chatting, talking to everybody. So Students, talk with your parents. Parents, talk with your students. Your teachers. Your teachers have been working with you for at least a semester. Ask them questions. Talk to your current counselor. Also, you can feel free to ask us some questions, but we'll be answering more generic questions to help you in transitioning to the high school. We don't know as much about your current work in your current classes as your current teachers and administrative staff and your counselors will. Also, this is a great time to get those required signatures. Again, signatures can be made on the back of your course registration card. Another thing that is really important is you're going to see a little spot for alternatives on your card. It's on the very front towards the bottom right. Go ahead and list alternatives. So that way, in case a course is full, we can go ahead and get your first or your second alternative into your day. Now again, we will be going to your school to walk you through the online course registration. We do have a date already set up for February 15th for the junior high school. We'll also be going to lab school and to Snowy Range. We'll announce those dates, or they'll announce those dates as we get those set into place. If for some reason students are absent on the day we go to your school, this doesn't mean you're missing out on any courses. It means we'll be doing your online course registration either at a different time or in a different format. We'll still get those course registrations into the computer. So again, these course requests are being used to create a master schedule. And we're asking that you really take these requests seriously. Believe it or not, I've had some people who will get their course registration and maybe they kind of forgot about it. Maybe it kind of sat there and we come in and they kind of pull it out and they just start marking some boxes. Well, odds are they're going to get those classes. So you really want to be mindful in choosing your courses. Now, it does work out that sometimes two classes that you choose are offered at the exact same time. So as we get the master schedule in place and as we get towards the end of the school year, we'll be contacting you if we do see one of those scheduling conflicts in your day. And we're looking to resolve all of those before the school year ends. A big reason for all of this push behind taking these enrollments very seriously, getting some of these conflicts taken care of before the school year ends, is because we will be relocating our high school to Boulder Drive. So there are going to be some logistical issues involved. So we will walk through them, each one step at a time. We're going to make sure that we have the smoothest transition possible as we move into our new building. There are always specific questions regarding maybe specific classes that your student took or you took, or how that progresses along as you graduate from Laramie High School. And so if you have specific questions, feel free to ask. Use your current resources of your current administrative team, your teachers, your counselor, or feel free to contact us at the high school. All of our contacts are available online at our high school website. Thank you very much, and we look forward to working with you at the new Laramie High School.